This is the Tower of London I'm sitting in, folks, and I'm on the toilet. Well, good morning, everybody. It's Disembarkation Day on the Anthem of the Seas. We are about to take off. It's been a really cool experience to cruise and see some exotic places. We're gonna grab our bags and head out for a little time in London, go see some cool stuff. I'm gonna meet up with some friends later on. And then we go home to New York again. Hey, good morning.
Good morning. I'm exhausted.
Well, yeah.
Welcome back, weirdos, to the final installment of our Strange Escapes at Sea adventure vlogs. At this point, we disembarked from the Anthem of the Seas in Southampton, where it dropped us off, and we proceeded to walk around with our suitcases to grab some food and see a cemetery that I had Googled up, which we had to take an Uber to. The Uber driver was a little bit confused, since we went directly to the cemetery instead of the surrounding park. I think we might have informed him that we were really interested in this kind of stuff, but nonetheless, he was really friendly. With our suitcases rolling and clacking behind us, we explored the cemetery.
Hello guys, we're in Southampton Old Cemetery. We have arrived back on the island of Britain, and this place is crazy. Look at this. It's not really like our cemeteries. They don't cut the grass here. But we're just gonna peek around a little bit and see what we find. It's kind of creepy at night. This would be especially creepy.
We found out a bit later that there's two cemeteries, one for veterans and one not, in the same area of the commons here. We wandered mostly through the veteran one and then into the older section with some of the most unique graves we've ever seen. So we found ourselves in a very old cemetery in Southampton. Did we take an Uber to get here? Yes. Did our Uber driver know what in the world we were thinking? Not really. That's okay. I'm gonna wander off to the other side and find Ryan now. Since we were very much alone in the cemetery and it was still fairly early morning, we figured we might not get a chance to speak to whoever might be haunting this type of place ever again. And so we took that opportunity.
Hello, my name's Ryan, and this is Amy from America. Come to say hello and see if anybody wants to say hello back. You can speak into the thing that I'm holding. Do you like this place? You're welcome to come speak to us. I'm not here to disturb anyone. Just if you want to say something, go ahead. Come forth. That was a voice in the distance. From someone alive, I assume. Tell us where we should go. We want to find Titanic stones. Can you tell us where those are? Hello, my name's Ryan from America. I'm here to communicate with anybody that wants to talk to me. I really love your cemetery. It seems like a place of reverence. you'd like to speak to me, just come up to what I'm holding and speak right into it. Florence, you have an amazing stone. Do you mind if I take a picture of it? What year is it for you? Like all the pigeons? Okay.
It being mid-July, there was of course tons of sound contamination with so many birds and insects making noise, but we figured, on the off chance that something or someone might interact in some way, that would be our chance, and we were just so stunned by how beautiful this location was. We ended up wandering around a bit more, and I actually found a memorial with the same name as my late grandfather, William Bennett, and it was even a memorial for a granddad. How serendipitous.
Look at him, he's gorgeous. Hi. Hey, buddy. How close can I get? Hi, buddy. Wow. This is unbelievable. This is exactly what I thought a cemetery in Britain could look like in my imagination. That's exactly what it looks like. Just enchantment. The lack of maintenance is interesting. It must be their way here. Must be how they do it.
Sure enough, that is the way. The cemetery is left overgrown on purpose to aid in the ecosystem and help the pollinators. And then every other season it's mown back and taken care of, and another cemetery nearby is left to grow. Pretty smart. From the Southampton Commons, we then rolled, Ubered, and took that ever luxurious UK rail system into London. I promise you, it's just absolutely more comfortable and efficient than anything we have at home. This is our hotel for one night.
The outer wall? Yes.
Yes. And behind it is the outer wall. And over here we're going now to the Tower of London.
Oh my God, guys.
Must be done.
I'm going to the Tower.
Did you know the full name of the Tower of London is officially His Majesty's Royal Palace and Fortress of the Tower of London, which just sounds cool to say. This is an actual historic castle that was first started to be built in the mid-1000s by William the Conqueror. Skeletons of 2 children were discovered near this spot in 1674. It has always been a grand palace located on the north bank of the River Thames and has served as a royal residence and a prison. Even through the First and Second World Wars, the tower was used again and witnessed 12 executions of men for espionage. The White Tower, which of course is how the place gets its name, is where Ryan and I started our tour and climbed all the way up to see some of the incredible artifacts kept inside.
Wow, we're at the Tower of London, everybody. It's been a bucket list place for me forever. I'm gonna stand in front of this. Ooh.
The original Norman toilet.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Falls into
These
pits
stones are.
or dead zones. How many people sat here contemplating their fate in the early days and whether or not they had some sort of disease they couldn't cure while taking a poo on the loo?
How many had poop on their hands and touched the stone?
So he wipes his hand over it.
This is the Tower of London I'm sitting in, folks. And I'm on the toilet, of all places. This might be the most interactive place that I've been.
Just a wee little place, little privacy.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Pretty darn cool.
While this portion was not part of the original tower design, St. John's Chapel was constructed for use by only the royal family in the innermost circle. And during Henry VIII's reign, it was decorated with a gold-painted cross and stained glass. He had some ornamentation installed. You are a great archer. Of course, with any castle comes the defenses. And climbing all the way down, and I say all the way, there were a lot of stairs, we hit the lower levels of the keep where some of the original cannons were on display. There were other such pieces of the armory, and of course, the White Tower Well, which seems to have some sort of fountain situation going on where at one point you could throw some things into it. We didn't exactly do that.
I don't know what all that stuff is, but it looks pretty cool.
We walked outside just in time to catch one of the most iconic pieces of the tourist-laden Tower of London, and that's the Royal Guard in action. It's always exciting and surprising, especially if you've never seen them do any of their thing outside of a National Geographic show. Ta-da!
Right in front of you, scared the crap out of me when it went.
Now, we know this place is not all flowers and sunshine. There were, of course, significant historic executions. And while the line for the crown jewels was exceedingly long, the site where it was believed the gallows were is readily accessible, with a memorial in glass. The Tower of London saw 22 executions over the course of history, and of course, most famously, the beheading of Anne Boleyn occurred there. It has been said for numerous years and reported by numerous people that the tower is haunted by those who lost their lives within it. However, it's not looking like this UNESCO World Heritage Site is going to be an overnight paranormal rental anytime soon. Now on to some more fun in London with a murdery pub crawl and two of the reasons why we spent an extra night in the city. Serving the best British food. Well, then I'm happy. Oh, it's real. I look for a man that looks like me.
How are you doing, man? All right? Very, very nice to meet you. You're right.
This is amazing. This is lovely. We just did the tower. Welcome to our channel. You've seen this man. We're with Mark, Dead Cold Paranormal.
Are you recording?
Oh yeah, I recorded the whole way up.
Fantastic.
This is amazing. I finally got my fish and chips done the right way in a pub in London. And not only were we able to spend time with Mark, but we were joined by Lorien Jones, none other than Alehouse Haunts. Proper job.
Let's do it.
All right. After an excellent meal, it was off to find a place of murdery intent, which not for us, but you'll see. The 10 Bells pub is linked forever to the murders of Jack the Ripper. On November 9th of 1888, Mary Kelly, a 25-year-old woman of the town, left the pub before becoming Jack the Ripper's final victim. Her body, mutilated, was discovered the next morning across the street on the opposite side of the road of the 10 Bells pub. That said, we figure what better place to get a drink.
Cheers, sir.
Cheers, Ryan. Are we all in?
You're all in.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bring them together. Drinking a hobgoblin at the 10 Bells. Highly recommend it.
It's said old Jack would frequent this pub before picking up his victims. Maybe after, maybe both times, but he spent time here and did his dirty work in this portion of London, leaving his victims torn apart, as his moniker implied. Ryan took the time to walk around the bar and head upstairs to see a little more of it, and it does have an oddly creepy atmosphere and what look like some very old, if not nearly original features. In the mirrors themselves stacked along the walls did Jack the Ripper gaze back at his own reflection before embarking on a murder. It was just delightful to be in this environment, as a dark tourist, of course, but most of all with our friends, to be able to talk about weird things, catch up, and see each other in person. It was just one of the most delightful portions of our entire trip. Murder, fish and chips, the Tower of London, all good things must come to an end, as it has been a very long and strange escape through Europe. It was just after we had parted ways with Mark and Lorien that we received a text message letting us know that one of our flights had been moved to after its connecting flight. We were not going to have a way home unless we went to the airport extremely early. After a harrowing ride at 4 a.m, some traffic, and begging and pleading with the gate agents everywhere, we made it home several hours before we had intended. Thank you so much for coming with us on this incredible journey through Spain, England, and France with Amy Bruni's strange escapes at sea on the Anthem of the Sea with Royal Caribbean. Stay ever so weird.